Think about if you look at our ABM stack, you're really putting together HubSpot meets Salesforce, meets User Gems, meets LinkedIn Nav. And between all of this is a tool called Clay that is enriching data and making amazing amount of spray and pray that will yield to actual conversions.
It makes sense to have a platform to spotlight marketers.
It's super important. I think all of us will agree that when you're using virtual tools, you don't know if you have the person's 100% attention.
Right.
You know they're looking at the camera. You have no idea what apps are in front of them, whether they're 100% tuned into you or they're checking their Slack, their email client, a news browser,
right.
WhatsApp, because it's all there. But
Yes.
you and I can't see it, right? So it's hard to read. But when you have platforms like these, the joy of meeting people face to face, hanging out, and having great conversations.
Hi, welcome to B2B Marketing Unboxed, brought to you by Mavens, powered by Bamboo Box and the Mainstream. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today. I am joined by Mr. Aadil Bandukwala. Hi Aadil, and he is the Vice President for Demand Generation and Customer Marketing at HackerRank. Firstly, Aadil, let's lead with your experience. Can you tell us how this event has been? What has been your unboxed moment so far?
Thank you for having me, Simran. Lovely meeting you. The event is great. Really here because I think there's a very impressive lineup of people that I was looking forward to meet and come and interact with. Secondly, I think the agenda, the way it's curated, it's been curated by industry practitioners who are living the life as we speak,
right.
From an all things business and execution perspective day on day.
Right.
So it's very real world and not theoretical or let's say at a 30,000 feet view. It's almost sort of like you're with a team of co-pilots who's telling you how they're chugging their engines along
right.
on an everyday basis. So the camaraderie is great, the vibe's great, and having a good time.
Fantastic, and thank you once again for being so candid. Adil, firstly, you spoke about the agenda, you spoke about the curation. A lot of conversations today revolving around, B2B marketing. We see a lot of them focused on AI, creativity in marketing as well. From your experience and your observation, for someone who's leading this space for so long, I have a question for you. How do you think creativity and technology kind of, find their intersection when we talk about B2B marketing space?
Oh yeah, this is a loaded question, but it's something that is absolutely fascinating and riveting that this space is going through for the last 6 months. Every 6 months you see there is an update.
Correct.
And that update potentially is a game changer. Tell you what, at HackerRank we started using something called Runway ML.
Okay.
Imagine earlier if you had to create, let's say, a film around a brand promise,
okay.
around, let's say, a customer promise. You'd have to go scout a location, hire a crew, eventually do recce's,
yes.
hire a team of actors, sound engineers, producers, videographers, cameras, the whole 9 yards, right? The whole thing to execute, easily 2 months. With Runway ML, all you need is the ability to storify your prompts, and it will generate Hollywood-like movie-grade sequences in batches of 10 seconds each that you can stitch and you can bring to life. Now the whole thing, everybody thinks, oh, but it must be really expensive, it must be an enterprise license. Hey, it's $199 a month.
Okay.
So pretty much anybody or any company can afford it. And so long as you're willing to use it and you're willing to put in your work, amazing things can happen. But that's just one example.
Correct.
Think about, there are so many of them
right.
that people are using today. Like for example, to generate AI avatars on the fly, people are using HeyGen.
Yes.
To figure out sound requirements, people are using 11 Labs. Think about if you look at our ABM stack, you're really putting together HubSpot meets Salesforce, meets User Gems, meets LinkedIn Nav. And between all of this is a tool called Clay that is enriching data and making amazing amount of spray and pray that will yield to actual conversions.
Right.
Earlier, spray and pray was just pray. But today you've got a hyper qualified set of accounts, which is a promised book of accounts that you have alignment with your CRO. And then you're taking this entire tech stack focused on delivering messages across different spectrums to a very tailored, defined universe. And then when you layer your creative tools like Runway ML on top of it, like HeyGen on top of it, powered by 11 labs, the game can change and fast.
Absolutely. I think in an era where we are just chucking out, branded content, these are the tools that most of the organizations are, kind of keeping a close watch on. I think it's just fascinating.
Sure.
Next, Aadil, because, we are at this event, B2B Marketing Unboxed by marketers, for marketers. The whole purpose is to have all the leaders, all the marketing leaders, under one roof.
Yeah.
But how do you think this is still relevant where we are just a call away, a Google Meet away, Zoom call away, we are living in a virtual world practically, but yet, connected. But how do you think these platforms are still relevant? Do you think it makes sense to have a platform to spotlight marketers?
I think super important. I think all of us will agree that when you're using virtual tools, you don't know if you have the person's 100% attention.
Right.
You know they're looking at the camera. You have no idea what apps are in front of them, whether they're 100% tuned into you or they're checking their Slack, their email client, a news browser, WhatsApp, because it's all there. But you and I can't see it, right? So it's hard to read. But when you have platforms like these, the joy of meeting people face to face, hanging out, and having great conversations. Now, some of those are intellectual. So let's reserve that for the panel.
Right.
And, that's where your intellectual questions are answered. But then when you come in off stage and when you're rubbing shoulders with people and interacting with them one-on-one, I think that is when your whole camaraderie comes to life and then you can feel that human connection. So tell you what, like I'm here to meet people. I came here to meet Casey because he's built a $3 billion book of business for Airtel B2B, which I think is fascinating and the world needs to hear that story. So every time I'm here, I'm trying to figure out by kaise, right? Because you can never stop learning. I've come here to meet Udit. He's running marketing at Exotel. The guy has built a beautiful model where he talks about how he's building demand that is gross profit aligned. Most people build demand that is accounts aligned.
Right.
Most people build demand that is revenue aligned. But have you heard of someone building demand that is gross profit aligned? That requires a different level of maturity.
Right.
So again, that is something that I love to kind of interact with him and take away insights every single time.
Yeah.
So I was saying about Udit, the magic is how he's building this model and all of us can learn every single time. Another guy that I find fascinating, very macho, but very fun to hang out with is Amit. Amit's built this amazing HCM marketing engine at PeopleStrong. If you want to meet a guy who can manufacture ideas on the prowl like that by the second, that's Amit. His raw energy is infectious. Then you have Bala, right? Bala is pretty much brought Kindle to life when it spun off from IBM and shaped its entire brand over the last 3 years, which is really hard to do for like an 20,000 people company. So then when you're meeting legends like him, there's always advice that you can kind of take. And then another guy is Prawal. Prawal's been at Zoho for a little over 13 years. He's been writing the brand playbook. And today you see there's great harmony in the way the Zoho brand stands bold and fearless and tall. And that is something that, you appreciate and you're like, man, I'd love to do that someday. So I think there's a lot to learn here. And these are not just people who can teach you stuff. They're cool to hang out with. We talk about vibe coding these days.
Correct.
These guys are a vibe to hang out with. And that's why I'm here and grateful to B2B Marketing Unboxed to create this platform so that you bring these cool people that eventually are talent magnets that attract other people and may the tribe grow and continue.
Honestly, let's hope for it. And that has been one of the, strongest goals, to have all these marketing, champions under one roof to discuss what's going on, what's trending, what's not working.
Yeah.
And like you put it across, to vibe together, to hang out with. But I think, thank you so much, Aadil, for being very unfiltered, very candid and sharing your insights today. And I look forward to connect with you again.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.